Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, November 16th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I remember to balance my deep dives with pleasure and joy. And today we have Venus shifting. In fact, as of this recording, it'll be like 4 hours from now, we have Venus shifting into Sagittarius. You can actually look for how long, but Venus usually spends just a little bit under a month in a sign. And this feels really interesting to me because Sagittarius is opposite to Gemini, which is where we have Mars going through this retrograde. So we're definitely going to have some Venus-Mars dancing energy. And a lot of times, like, while we call them opposites in astrology, and they can be in some ways, I always feel like signs that are in opposition have a lot of similarities and can really benefit one another. Gemini is usually like in the moment, like, oh, I find this, I notice this, I see this thing. Whereas Sagittarius usually does more deep dives for their information and knowledge. And I actually think that that's going to be beneficial with Venus moving through Sagittarius. Again, I'm feeling synergy between these energies, between Venus and Mars in these opposing signs, which we'll probably feel more when they come together. But this is what came through when I was looking at the astro. So this is where we're going right now. But over this time of Venus and Sagittarius, while there will be other topics that we'll dig into in just a moment, finding that balance, seeing where new information is coming in for you to pay attention to, but also knowing where you're like, you know, I'm kind of stuck in this thought pattern for a really long time, and maybe this is no longer working, and maybe it's time for some deeper research. So looking into that. That being said, Venus in Sagittarius is definitely freedom seeking, all right? Freedom and pleasure seeking. Sagittarius can be the sign of the party. If you think about it, like astrologically, Sagittarius is sandwiched between Scorpio and Capricorn. Like, this is the time, like, get it out. I have to say that Sagittarius time, despite being a Sagittarius, is one of my favorite times. I love the build up to Christmas. Not so much about the Christmas things, but I love the lights and the joy and the preparations, and that's kind of Sagittarius energy. It's like, let's prepare for the party, let's have fun, let's have that energy. So Venus in Sagittarius is here for the party. If you remember that old, I think, Gretchen Wilson song, she's here for the party. So Venus in Sagittarius is here for the party. She's here for freedom, and this may bring an interesting dynamic to relationships over the next month. As Venus moves through Sagittarius and we have Mars and Gemini in retrograde, relationships may get a little bit wonky. Holding space for freedom, holding space for change, recognizing that changes in these patterns can be really good, could benefit any and all kinds of relationships. Meanwhile, looking for opportunities to engage in fun. The last few years have been, whew, right? So Venus in Sagittarius, followed shortly by Mercury, followed shortly by the Sun, is like, let's find the light. Let's find for the joy. Sagittarius is the sign of the archer. And so Sagittarius is usually looking to where they are aiming, right? What are you aiming for? And this is a call to, like, aim up. Aim for the stars in and through this energy. What I will caution you with Venus and Sagittarius, there is too much of a good time. So keep that in mind over this next month, not to go overboard. Venus and Sagittarius can get gluttonous about food. You know, we're heading into a food-centered holiday for some. Too much food, too many good things. So try to stay in balance in this energy. And keep in mind, on one hand of the coin, Sagittarius is loving going to the party. And on the other side of the coin, Sagittarius is going to the library to study. So I'm here for the study. I don't think that there's a song about that. So that was Venus and Sagittarius energy. Besides that, today we actually have a fast-moving moon-focused yacht. We have the moon finishing up in Leo today. And feeding into this, we actually have Jupiter in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn, feeding at the moon in Leo, like I mentioned. So anytime we have a moon yacht, it's very fast moving. So the moon changes degrees every 2.5 hours roughly. So this will not last long, but it's definitely a good reminder of love. And it's nice because Venus will be at 0 degrees Sagittarius today, so it's going to be kind of like offline energy. So here's the moon being like, hey, it's okay to love, it's okay to have joy, it's okay to have fun, like call in that grace with this energy. However, there may be some deeper energies coming up. And to me, there's a quote, and I can't remember who it's by, but it's one of my favorite quotes. The only remedy for love is to love more, is the quote that's like in my head as I'm thinking about this. And that's what this feels like. If you find yourself engaged in power situations that may be part of that Pluto in Capricorn energy, or anything karmic coming up, where can you apply the balm of love to that energy? And I know that can seem simplified, but whether it's to yourself, there's something for you to heal, or whether it's something else, this feels very healing. It also may be about going back to inner child energy around this and reclaiming power. So even that needs the balm of love. So rubbing love balm, love balm on things. We're here for the party. We're rubbing love balm. It is an interesting astro day, right? So moon finishing up in Leo is connecting first thing to Mars, hopefully starting the day on fire, in a good way. Feeling lovey, feeling fun and flirty, actually. I'm feeling with that Mars and moon connection. But anytime we have the moon and Mars, there can also be reactional energy. So you might be fun and flirty. You may get super aggro pretty easily. We then have the sun and the moon in square. So you may be fun and flirty and get rebuffed and go into that sulky energy, but it doesn't last. Mercury trining Jupiter. Mercury finishing up, like I said, in the sign of Scorpio, connecting to Jupiter and Pisces. Again, there's so much brilliance. There's so much aha in tuning into your intuition, into your dreams, all of that. Somebody posted they've been having like constant nightmares, right? Like recently, and yet I feel like it's like trying to process something. So pay attention. Any patterns that are coming forth in your dreams as well. This might be a great time to start a dream journal. Amazingly, when you do a dream journal, just bringing your attention to your dreams in that way can actually help you remember them. So this could be a good time, even if you just like, okay, I'm going to just try for this month. Could be worth it. Moon squaring Mercury. Again, there's like a thin line today between like the flirty fun and the like aggro, and it's like just a pendulum back and forth. I didn't even look at my cards that I have today yet. Moon shifting into Virgo, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Moon in Virgo, bringing a little attention to the physical body over the next few days. Again, this is really good. What is your body needing to help support you, again, as we enter holiday season, as we enter too much season? And just supporting and grounding, which can also be, I think, helpful between the Scorpio and the strong water energies that we have going on right now, and just coming off the eclipse season, coming back in to listen to the body. Moon and Mars, did I mention that yet? Moon and Mars, not Moon and Mars, sorry. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Moon and Venus reaching a square in the evening still at that 0-degree energy. Interesting. That's the first connection Venus is making, is with the moon in Virgo. Definitely sending us into the library to study. So maybe it's time to dig into something that you've heard about for your body that you've been wanting to put into play, maybe an herb or something. And looking up various things, the pros and the cons of it or something, and seeing where you can maybe implement that into your good time over the next 30 days. Mercury will be shifting into Sagittarius on Thursday morning at 12:42 a.m. Pacific time. So imminent shift with that, but I will talk about that tomorrow. I actually felt, I was like, let's change things up a little bit. So I pulled a card from Tosha Silver's deck, Outrageous Abundance, I think, and I pulled the Limitless card, and it feels very aligned. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. And I love that for Venus and Sagittarius, especially because Sagittarius energy is infinite possibilities. And so opening yourself up to receive, opening yourself up to be limitlessly receiving, could be a beautiful pattern to actually instill. Besides that, talking about receptivity, we've got the healing card. Being receptive to healing, that definitely feels like that moon in Virgo energy. We're healing from old projections. Venus and Sagittarius, getting a maybe boosted sense of who we are. And releasing where we've compromised, releasing those projections. We're moving into integration, but we are definitely not there yet. These all feel a lot of relationship energies as well. The healing is the King of Cups. The yang energy currently going through that retrograde darker cycle, going within, and the yin being called to have patience with that process. This is not just like the masculine and the feminine. This is the yin and the yang within us. Each of us have these energies within us in certain balance layers. And so looking for these energies where they are shifting within us can be very helpful. It's so easy sometimes to see it outside of ourselves, but when we can tune in deeper, there is magic. So I'm going to leave that here. I didn't realize this was going so long. I guess I'm chatty and rambly. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.